Jones, living in Lake County, California.
Kufar Jones with Shabazz. This is my dad, Luther Jones, Jr., and he's innocent.
Always happy and innocent.
I'm Angela Carter. I'm an attorney in Lake County, and Luther is a recent exoneree who was released from prison with an extremely severe medical condition, and he was released pursuant to a writ of habeas corpus brought by Don Anderson, our elected district attorney, in front of Judge Blum. And he was released very, very quickly. Those writs normally take a lot longer. So he's out now and in need of services, and I've been helping him to acquire some services and to pursue his claim with the state of California for compensation he's due pursuant to the penal code. And other small things on the side, helped get his medical records to the hospital, things he needs as they come up.
I found out by a paper being given to me, and they throwing me out the prison till I almost died. They just threw me out, and I wasn't completely all the way here because I'm on so many medications, and that's the prison's fault, because they wanted to put you on the medication, and they don't give you reasons why. Or I lost my legs. I can't walk because of prison rules and regulation. And nobody would look at me and say, hey, you need to go to physical therapy. You need to do this. You need to do that. What the hell did you build $1 billion prison for? If I can't, you know. The whole idea of the matter was that I read the paper and I said, this says I'm being released. But I couldn't believe it. I didn't believe it. But then when they came and got me and threw me out, even though I was laying down there just about going out of my mind, dying, because I was dying. If they hadn't got me from, what's the hospital? If they hadn't got me,
San Joaquin.
Yeah, if they hadn't got me to the hospital, I'd have been through. But a very good hospital.
Oh, St. Helena Hospital, just recently. Yeah, the one I just recently took you to. That's the St. Helena Hospital.
Yeah, man, they are wonderful, wonderful people. They took care of me. They made sure that my medications were readjusted and given to me proper. I took some away, added what they thought was supposed to be on there. Took me through all these needles. And then I started getting a little bit better. A little bit. But I'm still not good. I can't walk. My legs give out.
Constricted.
My legs are constricted. So I'm having a real hard time.
Well, we're very fortunate. We have two very enthusiastic law students working on it, preparing a draft, gathering all the necessary information to fill out the needed paperwork for that claim to be made. So once that is done, I'll look at it and finalize it. The law students are through the Innocence Project. Once it's finalized, Luther will sign it, and it will be submitted to the state, where hopefully it will be processed immediately. That's the hope.
Everybody knew that my dad was innocent. It's been 20 years. So run-ins with other people asking how's my dad doing and different things like that. People can see my pain, I guess, and knowing, because I kept in contact with him, you know, and I know how he was doing, so people could see my pain and them coming to make their decision or whatever, how they felt in their life is up to them. For me, having my father back is wonderful, and I think everything how it's going.
Yeah,
His
but
health can be better.
I'm tolling on them. They don't have no money. He just had to quit his job to take care of me. I have no money because nobody gave me any. And how can he make it in life, even if it's just to take care of me, when he has no income? No income whatsoever.
My understanding is that they frequently will sit around for a very long time before being paid. And in his case, he's an elderly gentleman with health problems. It's really in his best interest to have it paid right away. And that's my hope, is that I can help facilitate that happening.
So you're having to go to dialysis treatments and,
3 times a week.
oh wow, okay. Did any of your health issues, did they develop when you were in prison just because of
All of them.
treatment?
All of them did. It wasn't nothing I could not do when I was here playing dominoes in the park, barbecuing in the park, having a nice time, being friends with different people, growing up, and allowing my own self to me. I used to own a restaurant up here, allowing my own self to meet people. Wasn't nothing I couldn't do. When I went to prison, everything shot to hell. My legs went, dialysis started, and whatever else they thought I had. Oh, my kidneys,
Your kidneys, your liver.
my liver, yeah.
To me, continuum of care means you're the prison system, you have someone's physical body in your possession. You're responsible for that person's well-being. And when Luther was released, the judge ordered the release to happen immediately. And under the law, immediately for the prison system means 5 days. They did take a few of those days before he was released, and my understanding was they were doing so to arrange for this continuum of care, this ongoing ability for him to survive, to be conscious, to be as healthy as he can be. And unfortunately, in this instance, they took him to his adult son, who didn't know the full extent of his medical condition, and Luther was found unconscious the next day. So there's a failing there in my mind.
In other words, $1 billion facility in Stockton didn't give a damn.
The only contact I had with them was early on, because when he was hospitalized, the hospital did not have his medical records. He went by ambulance to our local hospital. They needed his medical records. He didn't have those. Getting medical records from the prison system can be a long, slow task. So I was able to contact their press office, who put me in touch with 2 different physicians who were familiar with Luther's situation, and we were able to get those medical records quicker than usual. And that's the only contact I've had with them.
He was locked up altogether 20 years. He was, he did 18 years of his 27-year sentence, but 2 years before that, he went through court over this situation. So he's been locked up for 20 years altogether on this.
I think an optimal outcome is Luther gets lots of meaningful time with his family without the burden of gigantic, cumbersome medical bills, without being a financial drain on his family. I think for him to come home and be able to integrate into the family in a meaningful way, get to know everyone, make up for lost time would be an optimal outcome. But I think for that to happen, the state needs to uphold its obligation to pay his claim quickly.
I believe the process will be begun when my dad signs papers, when somebody brings some papers, and my dad signs some papers. I've contacted the Innocence Project. They emailed me yesterday. I believe it's in process, but it hasn't started. When my dad signs, because it's going to be, after he signs the papers, it still has to go in front of a judge. It still has to be appealed. There's a process of that still. So not until he signs these papers and they, get to going on it, it's not started yet. It's just
In other words,
thought about.
they're gonna take me through so much rigmarole because they know where the mistake come from. So I got to go through the rigmarole. Why? I wasn't taking through no rigmarole when you locked me up. So why I got to go through it now when you know I'm innocent?
That money should have, instead of giving him $200 at his gate money for being released as a convict, it should have been his $1 million for him being released as a innocent person, wrongfully convicted.
Free citizen.
It's unfortunate that exonerees are not entitled to any services from parole, because parole is able to help inmates who come out through the parole system obtain those kinds of services, but he is not eligible for them despite the fact he spent 18 years in state custody and 2 years prior to that in county custody. So there aren't services made available to him through CDCR, but we do have a social services department here in our county. It's our hope that we'll be able to connect him with services through them. And as a senior citizen, there are services he's eligible for as well.
There's a friend of mine that I grew up with here. She put together a GoFund. What is it called? GoFundMe.
Okay.
And like I said, I was just recently able to connect that with my bank, and I retrieved some funds off of that so we could get things for my father and things that he needs for his medical needs and to assist with his everyday living.
Right.
That's really what I need is my medical stuff.
Yeah, I'm not able
The
to
prison
afford any medicine.
threw me out and left me. If it wasn't for the hospital picking me up because they seen me, if it wasn't for the hospitals picking me up and putting me under their care, I'd be dead. The prisons threw me out.